Hello everyone and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. And first I'm going to say hello to Excel because she's pretending to pay attention and she's actually tweeting. Put your phone away.
What can you blame me?
Because she has lovely hair. She has a new hairstyle, so she wants to share it with the world. So you didn't think I was going to talk to you right now, did you? I'm sorry. How are you?
How dare you?
I love your new hairstyle.
Oh,
Everyone's seeing your phone now. We love your new hairstyle.
Well, thank
you. Beautiful.
Well, thank you, Chrissy.
Right.
I just thought I'd take after you.
Right,
you're looking so gorgeous every show.
Oh, thank you. You can carry on tweeting now while I read the rest of the stuff at what's on for the show today. We have the Lunchbox Doctor back with us. That's Jenny Tschiesche, and she's going to be discussing how to prepare a healthy meal for fussy eaters. Exo, are you a fussy eater? Caught you again?
Not really. I think I will try everything once at least. I think.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm fussy at all. I like my food. And we'll also have Maegan's makeup counter on the secrets to natural looking makeup. And we also have Cynthia with her styling, and this time it's knitwear and transitional pieces and Milan and Paris Fashion Week. And we'll also have our latest fitness tip from Jane this week on outdoor exercises. And of course, I'll be answering a question from a viewer. But let's go to the news first with Excel.
Hello, Chrissy.
Hello. Give me your phone.
I haven't finished tweeting yet.
I'm going to confiscate her phone.
No, I shall save. I shall save the tweet for later. Yes, I shall save it for later. Hello, people. Right. As usual, I have some very interesting news for you. But since we just talked about food, I'll start with a food one. Well, I cheat a little bit, kind of, about food. Remember when we talked about the food pillowcases and all of that, the chips and the
hamburgers.
Right, I've got another one for you now. Can you guess what item this might be this time?
A kebab.
Okay, and what
that would be a dream pillow for me.
Really? Interesting. Okay, item of clothing. What would you?
Oh, shoe.
Oh, you're very close. I have today sushi socks. It has a very, it is something that has been made by a Japanese company called Otaku Mode, and they actually deliver to the UK as well. So maybe you might be inspired, for any seasonal gifts or something. It looks like a pair of. I think I have a couple of pictures here. One of them shows where they're folded, so they actually look like sushi. This is the folded, like how they come in the pack. So it kind of looks like salmon wrapped with rice. Okay. And you can see, I think the other bit there is probably, I don't know if it's pepperoni or whatever it is, wrapped. I don't really know. I'm going to expose myself here. I don't really know what those black and red things are. I don't know. Well, that kind of looks like pepperoni. But anyway, it won't be because it's Chinese.
No,
well,
I've never seen sushi with pepperoni on it.
And then there's something over there towards the middle of the photo that looks like, what do you call it? Prawns. And you can just about see the tails of the prawn. And then there's something else at the back that looks, again, salmon. And then over there on the other side as well, there is some tuna and the other one. Yeah. So it basically looks, and someone here is modeling what the socks look like rather when they're worn. So you can see that person there is modeling the salmon socks. So you have the salmon up the leg, up the calf there. And yeah.
Interesting.
So these are available.
I'm rushing to buy a pair, I have to say.
You wouldn't buy a pair of those. Why not?
Because sushi's for eating, not for wearing.
Yeah, but it's just, I like those kind of character type of things. I love it. I love wearing stuff like that because it's just, imagine, like, I know I've seen someone who was all suited and booted, right?
With those socks?
Well, not these socks, but he was wearing, like, those cartoon character type things. But he was all nicely, you would think he would just wear, like, maybe, black silk socks or whatever, or something nice. But he was wearing, like, I think it was Simpsons or something, or Tom and Jerry. I like things like that because it just shows that the person is slightly quirky and just kind of injects a bit of character, even though you have a serious job. So that's just me, really. But when I saw them, I thought I'd like to let our guests know. You know, you never know. Might be getting some, this year. Or birthday present or something?
My birthday's gone, but anyway.
Next year then.
Okay.
Okay, well, moving on from food. I actually saw this that kind of made me chuckle a little bit. But on the other hand, I thought, good for you, at least, even though he was kind of tricked into it. I'll explain for you to understand why. A man from North Carolina traveled across the United States to Arizona to confess to a murder committed 17 years ago. Now, why did he do this, you ask? Because he thought he was being blackmailed by letters and text messages from Walmart. Yes. He's a 55-year-old man. He went and told a detective in Arizona that he met a woman one night near the Colorado River in 1997. He claimed that at the time he was addicted to cocaine and methamphetamine, and that the woman created a scene when she refused to leave his trailer. So he then bludgeoned her to death and disposed of her body in a nearby river. Oh no. Okay, so this happened and he kind of thought he got away with it, etc. But then he decided to confess when he started receiving text alerts. This is where it gets slightly weird. He started receiving text alerts and prescription letters from Walmart, as in the store, addressed to someone called Anita Townshend. So he thought, exactly. So he believed that name was the name of the woman he had murdered, and so he assumed that someone was blackmailing him. And so he decided to confess because he felt like, oh, somebody knows what I've done after all these years, and he thought there was a bounty out for him. So he decided to, he made the trip. No, so he's obviously left the area.
What I think really happened? I think he was just looking for a reason to give himself up, because all those years, imagine, that was playing on his conscience. Probably felt extremely guilty. So it was just like an opportunity for him to actually, even though he could have just gone and done it, but that must have been a relief, I think. Yeah. Because how can you live with that all those years?
All those years. I mean, this is a long time, 17 years. I mean, he intends to plead guilty to manslaughter and begin his 10-year sentence right away. And I think the police have even said that if he hadn't actually owned up, no one would have, because the crime was still unsolved as to what happened to the woman.
But he would have been a prisoner still.
Exactly. So he's actually come out.
It's a horrible thing to have done, obviously, and it sounds like he regrets what he's done.
I think so, yeah.
So to live with those 17, at least now he's seemingly paying for what he did, even though obviously it doesn't bring the woman back, and you know, her family are still affected, but it's something. It kind of like, he's paying the time for it now.
Exactly. I mean, a clear conscience really is you can't put a price on that. And fair play to him. At least I have to commend him for at least doing the right thing. Although he must have, you know, although he kind of did it in thinking he was being threatened. I think that's the kind of, in a way, I think when I read that, I thought, it's almost as if, like you say, he was obviously playing on his conscience, and that was his way of getting out. But imagine how the mind kind of was playing tricks on him as well. Thinking, oh, somebody knows what I've done, and oh my gosh, they're sending me texts. When you feel guilty about something, that's what happens. You know, exactly. So so fair play to you, sir. Well, the next bit of news here I have for, I think I have to play this video about a young woman who decided to announce to her kids that she was pregnant. So let us see what her son had to say about it.
I'm gonna tell you.
What?
I'm pregnant.
What were you thinking? Why you have to just get another baby? You just have two. So why do you? This is exasperating.
Exasperating, Amaya.
Because you just got two. So
you don't,
why do you want to why you want to get another baby and just replace one of your babies if there's too much?
Oh, baby, we will never replace you and Amaya. You're just going to have another brother or sister that you have to take care of. Well, help take care of.
That doesn't make no sense. This makes no sense.
Well, Trey, I don't know what to tell you about the crying. You just got to get used to it, okay?
Okay, and buy me some earplugs too.
Buy you some earplugs? Okay.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Well, he's definitely irreplaceable, that one.
Not replaceable. So I could not stop laughing. It's like, what? That can't, it was like a little grown-up. Like, how can you've already got two? Why would you want another one? I thought, oh my gosh, you poor thing. All right, fine, and just buy me some earplugs.
That was priceless.
Yeah, that was incredible. I had to. I mean, the poor woman had to. She shared this on Facebook and said, we wanted to surprise Trey to say he's going to have a younger brother or sister, but he wasn't impressed.
Oh, that's brilliant. You're going to save some more news for us because we need to go to a break. Thank you for that. It made me chuckle. That was lovely. Okay, well, do stay tuned because after the break, we have our fitness tip from Jane on outdoor exercises. And I'll be speaking with Jenny Tschiesche, the lunchbox doctor, about fussy eaters of all ages and how to deal with them and feed them, I suppose. So do join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Before we speak to Jenny about fussy eaters, let's take a look at this fitness tip from Jane on outdoor exercises.
Hi everyone, I want to talk to you today about outdoor fitness. Now, I am the world's biggest fan of indoor studio classes. I teach them, I'm passionate about them and I love them. But you know what, I also love training outside, especially in spring, summer and autumn. It's lovely and I often take my personal training clients outside. So if you've never trained outside before, I just want to talk to you about the 4 basic stages that you can go through and progress into fitness. And if you've never done it before, this is what you need to do to prevent injury. So if you're a complete novice, you've never really jogged before, or you've jogged and you've hated it, you've not had success with it, I want you to start with some power walking. So all you need to do is get yourself a decent pair of running shoes and get good clothing, get layers, get reflective clothing if you're going out at night, sun cream if you're going out during a hot day, lots of water. Best accessory is a nice friend to chat to on the way, someone who's up for it with you, and off you go. Now when you go power walking, you are going at quite a pace. You want to be walking as though you are late for an appointment, but you're not quite running. So it's much, much quicker than a normal pace. And if you're power walking successfully and chatting at the same time, you should find that your breathing just goes a little bit up, but you can still talk. So that's how it should feel, okay? And then when you get used to that and you get confident, you can start to go into a slow jog. Don't go from a power walk to a fast jog, because you'll find that you get out of breath too quickly. So what you want to do is just a really slow pace, nice small steps, nice even steady steps, not great big movements with the arms or the legs. It's hardly faster than power walking. In fact, it could be about the same pace. So you're not actually moving faster, you're just getting your body used to running. Okay, so that's the second stage. What you could do is mix that in with your power walking for a while till you get used to running. Then when you start to get stronger and you know that your joints are coping okay with the running, you can start to run at a slightly faster pace. And you can just speed it up a little bit, slightly bigger strides with the feet, a little bit more use of the arms. And you know, be conscious about how fast you're going. You might want to speed it up for 30 seconds or a minute and then put a power walk in and do that again and gradually increase the speed and the pace. And then, you know, you might want to eventually go to a fast jog with interspersing some sprints in. If you put really small, short, high energy bursts into your training, it's really, really good for your fitness and it's good for fat loss. So what I recommend is when you get confident, you know you're not going to injure your knees or your back through the high impact action of jogging, try a sprint. So what you might want to do if you're out in a park is say, right, I'm going to run to that tree, and you sprint as fast as you can. Your knees come up higher and your arms are really active, you're pumping your arms, and you shouldn't be able to sprint like that for more than 20 seconds at the most, okay? And then when you stop, you should be absolutely breathless, and then you can pick up your power walking and go around again, put in another sprint and so on. So experiment, stay safe. A great tip, guys, is to get a running app on your phone. So if you get a running app on your phone, I've got one of these belts here. You could use any kind of a waist bag, you know the ones I mean, that look like this. You can have the music on, and the running apps tell you the distance and the pace. So every 5 minutes your music stops and a voice says, this is how far you've run and this is how fast you're running. Now obviously if you're running on the road, you need to be really careful if you've got music in your ears for safety, but in a park you should be fine. So I hope you enjoy your outdoor training. Use the tips, guys, and let's get fit for summer. See you next time.
welcome back. So now we're going to speak about how to deal with fussy eaters in our home. Hello, Jenny, welcome back.
Chrissy, how are you?
I'm very well, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Okay, so you're going to help us with this problem.
I hope so, yeah.
Because it's something that a lot of parents especially, I would presume, go through.
Yeah, I think increasingly so, but I don't think it's just parents that struggle. I think there are still some adults out there. That
naughty. Should we start with the kids?
Let's start with the kids.
Then we go to the big kids.
Yeah. That's
so
what we all are.
Yeah, exactly. So why is it that people are fussy in the first place? Because it's not black and white, is it? There's other reasons.
There's a very normal thing that happens. Basically, if you think back to, not that you'll remember, not that I'll remember, but back to sort of caveman days. So what happens when the child becomes mobile for the first time?
Yeah.
They're up on their feet, they're walking around, and for the first time they have to make their own decisions about the kind of food that they're going to choose. So they go out into the bush or wherever, and the things that they pick, they need to be able to ascertain by putting it into their mouth whether it's something that they do want to taste or whether they don't want to taste. They're at that point sort of independently making their own mind up. So they will literally spit out things that aren't right. And so about the age of 2 would have been when most of us would have been at that stage of being mobile, walking around. So it's a very normal phase at that stage, and most people go, wow, I was feeding them really well, they were having carrot puree followed by apple puree and all was great, and then suddenly they changed, and that's them asserting their independence. But if you're not ready for it, you're not prepared for it, as a lot of first-time mums are, myself included, when I was a first-time mum, then you start probably in an unrelaxed manner, and you find that this sort of battleground starts to exist, and you don't even realise it's forming, but it starts really there and then. And depending on how you're operating or cooperating with it, that will sort of set the tone for the future. You imagine somebody who's the first-time mother, they may not have their family living near them, which is one of the things that seems to be more common these days, and they're sleep deprived, and they're trying to cope with a situation they've never dealt with before. It's not easy, and I think in addition to that, there are a lot of foods that are targeted at children. Children's foods in some cultures don't even exist. I would question why we almost need them. Why wouldn't we feed children, who are small adults, the same as the adults have?
And the healthier versions.
Yeah, I think those are the reasons that they predominantly exist. I mean, there can be technical reasons like food intolerance, food allergy, and deficiencies like zinc deficiency and iron deficiency can lead some children to be more fussy than others, but that's as it is. Yeah.
So how can we deal with then fussy eaters?
Yeah, so I mean, the best thing ideally is to stay calm, which you inevitably are not going to be. Yeah, exactly. Try if you can, but again, you are sleep deprived, and that's the most impossible time to be calm. Try and remain calm. There are loads of different things that you can try. I mean, the presentation of the food is absolutely key. We have so many different types of food available these days, and we do get, it's all these cookery programs, we get a bit more sort of, we want to trial things, new things, and we put in front of a child who's maybe playing around outside, having nothing to do with the food, a plate of food that maybe the first time they've ever seen it, they're going to question why, how. They're going to pick it up and they might play with it. If you're lucky, they might put it in their mouths, but they might reject it. And then the mother will feel, or the parent, whoever it is that's feeding them, will feel that rejection as well. So really important to try and get the child involved in what you're doing. So if you can even get them to lay the table, if you can have a little step so they can watch over while you cook. You can even use certain things that are, tools within the kitchen that are child-friendly, so child-friendly knives or chopping boards, and get them involved a little bit, so that even as you're going along, they can try things. And it's amazing, actually. Children they'll pop, a bit of raw carrot in their mouths, where they may not have tried it before when it was put on a plate for them.
Because they're involved in the process.
Yeah, exactly. So there's definitely that, and it's got to look good. So you might sort of chop things up in a particular way. But also, children don't necessarily get hungry exactly when we want to plan to feed them, so they might get hungry middle of the morning or middle of the afternoon. How many children come out of school absolutely ravenous? So have things ready for them, sort of in the fridge, in glass containers, so they can see what it is. They come home. You're not going to want to eat a raw carrot after you've had, a main meal with a dessert. But you come in from school and you're absolutely ravenous. That's probably the best time to try it. Or
catch them.
Yeah, exactly. Catch them while they're starving, and they will want to put things in the mouth, because actually, you need to meet that need.
What about naughty adults?
Yes, well, I wouldn't like to call them naughty. Naughty
fussy adults then.
Yeah, fussy adults. So yeah, I mean, quite a lot of the things I find is that if there's a child that's not eating so well, in the family there might be a parent or an adult that's not eating so well. It's not always what we might think. I mean, husbands generally get a bit of a bad wrap, I think, because people think of they want the meat and they want the potatoes and they might leave the veg on the side. Yes, that's certainly true, but I come across plenty of mothers in my work who are also quite fussy. Yeah, so they're in the same sort of situation, and as parents, you are the key role model for your children. They are going to look to you, they're going to look up to you, and they're going to want you to show them the way forward. And if you're fussy around your food, then that's not so good. So again, you know, with adults, it's about the appearance. It's about being involved in the cooking process. So any way possible that you can find, you know, whether it's finding your favourite TV chef that you're willing to follow, or whether it's trying something new at home, or yes, so many different applications now, you know, or actually apps, you know, on sort of iPads, etc., that you can use to find something that works for you. So try and get involved in that process. But yeah, just try and make it look good and feel easy for people
so
to
get involved
have a go.
And make things look yummy.
Yeah, yeah, because you know there's so much out there that's just so tasty.
Got no excuse really, have we? Because
no, well, so you know, and I think if you can try and almost ignore some of the marketing messages, you know, we have a bit of a rule in our household which goes terribly wrong sometimes. But so if it has an advert, don't eat it, sort of thing, you know. And it really, what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to teach my children and family is real food. You know, try real food, try different types of real food, but real food is kind of where we should kind of go back to. It's by eating the processed things and the quick fix things that we almost change the way our palate works. And if we were to go back to kind of vegetables, fruit, even like protein, so you know, your fish, your chicken, your eggs, really basic stuff, hummus, whatever it is, and the carbohydrate portion, which should be whole grains ideally, that should work.
I definitely agree, Jenny.
Good.
Thank you so much for your advice.
Right.
Thank you. Okay, so we have reached the end of this section, unfortunately, but do stay tuned because after the break, we'll be joined by the lovely Gregoire sisters talking makeup and fashion.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. So now I'm joined by the Gregoire sisters and we're going to be talking about what today, Megan?
Chrissy, we have got a lot of autumn winter tips and what's going on with foundation and why even if you have purchased your summer foundation color, how you can still use that in the winter when you've lost your tan.
All right.
So one of the things is trending is the matte finish. So in the summer you want to look dewy and fresh. This winter you don't want that shine and that glimmer. You want to have that soft velvet finish, and that's very trending. However, if you still have your foundation with that shine finish, you can use your matte powder just to tame that down a bit, and you can get that velvet finish by just applying a little bit of translucent powder. This one is colorless, so you can actually buy powder that doesn't have any color and works on all skin tones. Darker skin tones, they tend to have maybe a little bit of that ashy residue. If you're really dark skinned, you might want to use a caramel finish.
Caramel finish.
But one thing that I want to say is a matte finish does not mean no moisture. So you don't want to have dry skin, because when you put anything on dry skin, it's going to cake and it's not going to be aesthetically pleasing. So you do want to put that moisture on, but you may want to use, if you're oily, maybe oil control. Or you can put this on at night if your oil gland is overactive, kind of as a treatment, so you can get that nice natural finish.
So this is what an oil?
It's oil control serum. So you want to put that on before you put your makeup on.
Right. Okay.
And so another thing is, Chrissy, we had seen on the catwalk for autumn winter was a lot of 1960s. So we all know Cynthia's a fan of the 1960s. So I wanted to show, this go-go bot, her 1960s look broken down for your viewers. So what we have is, and I haven't actually brought these out for a while, the caviar sticks. So what is
in fish eggs?
No, not in fish eggs, as in beautiful pencil makeup that can apply and blend easily, which is really one of my favorite products. The 1960s look is mostly a light shade on the lid. Here we went and we broke a few rules, but Chrissy, there are no rules, so only guidelines, but we've seen a lot of metallics, and we thought it went well with her dress today, so we kind of mixed it up. But generally a 1960s is that matte light shadow, and then you fill in the crease with a darker matte shadow. So it doesn't have to be white and brown, which generally are the neutral colors that work well. It could be a matte pink and a dark purple. Fill in the crease. You definitely want that darker color in the crease. Winged liner, which I have to commend Cynthia. She did this for herself today, and it's probably with, oh, I thought I had brought one, but we did have those Q-tips, or how they say cotton swabs, to clean that up. So when you're applying that liner, you want to use a gel liner, or you want to use a liquid liner, because it's a bit hard to get that nice winged cat eye with a pencil or a powder. It's a bit easier using those formulas to apply this. So another thing is opening the bottom eye, those wide eyes, those big beautiful eyes that she has, with a white liner. So we just put that is a big thing. We got those big eyes, the minimalistic blusher, so just a bit of color on the cheek, and there's not too much color in the lips for the 1960s look. And I wanted just also to put on, you draw on the bottom lashes. So you actually draw them on. Yeah, so look up. So basically you want to do it on the outer edge, but they do have almost like it's coming off. In the 1960s, they really truly did those separate lashes. And it's so cool, Chrissy, because that is like a signature 1960s look. So I'm doing it with gel liner. You might be able to do it with a sharpened black liner, actual pencil. But just on the outside, just single bottom lashes. This really truly finishes this 1960s look. It is just beautiful. So if you look at, you know, is it Twiggy and all of your 1960s idols, you'll see their makeup with the iconic look that I just went through step by step.
Thank you so much,
Beautiful.
Maegan. Okay, so now we have some styling tips from Cynthia.
Okay.
Let me just move over here.
All right. Okay. Well, forget autumn winter 14, because I'm going to talk about spring summer 15.
Oh, already. Okay.
7 months from now. Actually, no, we've just finished Milan Fashion Week, and also we are just entering Paris Fashion Week, the best of them all, in my opinion. So I just wanted to run through some highlights from the shows, and I know I'll be talking to you about the 7 months from now, but let's just do a little bit rundown of the shows. So can we have the first slide up? I'll just highlight a little bit of Italian Fashion Week. Now, this is Donatella Versace. And when I looked at her show, she had a lot of monochrome going on, a lot of color blocking. You're going to see a lot of laser cutting, and that is a lot of precise, intricate detail cut into the leather and the plastics. You're going to see a lot of cutouts and see-through paneling. So basically, like, you might be wearing a long skirt, but it appears you're wearing a short skirt because it's clear, or they've cut so much out of the detail out of it. My next slide is Roberto Cavalli. And you can see him here, and he actually had the best show. Actually, if you Google it, go to style.com or whatever to see the highlights. He had so much movement in his spring summer 15 collection. He had amazing white pieces that again had these like laser cutting detail in them, long garments that were cut out, psychedelic patterns and colors. And if you just go to the next slide here, we have a flashback from Roberto Cavalli's previous collection. We see here that we have Molly King and Cavalli, and I want you to look at the print on there. There's leopard print. Now this is very vintage, but it's actually trending again in autumn winter 14, and we're going to see it again. The last designer I'd just like to highlight is MSGM. And actually there is Dolce & Gabbana. Actually, you have to, I forgot about this one. You have to Google this show. They had a beautiful Spanish theme, very much red, very black lace, very regal-like. It was just an amazing, amazing show. I did see the MSGM show as well, and they did everything to do with birds. So again, that spring summer 15, we've got that the animal reference. Just a few quick words about Paris Fashion Week. It's still going on right now. Tune in to Jean-Paul Gaultier tomorrow. He's showing his last ready-to-wear collection. He's now going to haute couture solely, so that he's going to only do like the specialized fashion. And you still have your favorites like Chanel and Dior actually showed today, so I can't wait to go home and check that show out.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'd like to talk a little bit about what we styled us in today. Myself, I've got as well the 1960s look that's trending, and this fabulous dress from MSGM, which is an Italian designer, came out today. So basically it's called the sequin dress, and I've just put it with these 1960s boots, which are actually from Japan and from the 1960s. So
okay, let's get the boots.
All right, so
shall we see the boots? All right, let's forget the boots. We saw them in the makeup bit.
All right. So that lovely red that I saw in Dolce & Gabbana actually inspired me to put Chrissy in this beautiful bombshell dress. The dress is actually called Bombshell by Katja Wildman. And it's called a crepe dress. And I've paired it with Lucy Choi, very comfortable stilettos that are called Canterbury. And you can see that the stilettos just have like a hint of that red color lines on the toes there. So a very cool shoe for autumn winter 14. And I've put Maegan in a very easy look tonight. This is a Diane von Furstenberg, don't stand like that, jumpsuit. It's actually called the Cynthia jumpsuit. And this is a tassel necklace. And I've also put her in.
Cynthia, Maegan, come in the shot, please. There we go.
Okay, cool. So this is a Diane von Furstenberg jumpsuit, and I've paired it with a tassel necklace. And just continuing, you know, this autumn-winter transition period where we have, you know, the different types of looks. So I'll just go to the rail really quickly here, and I've just got a few pieces to talk about. Things that I think are hitting down really, really popular and that are trending now that we're, you know, we still have this kind of warmish weather, don't we, Chrissy? So basically I have this current Elliott denim crop top, which I think is really fabulous. You can kind of still pair that with like shorts or a skirt kind of thing. You can put it with jeans, do a double denim look. Like I talked about, we have the animal referencing. This is a beautiful crop top with kittens on it, done by Paul and Joe Sister. And you'll just notice the Parisian designers, they just do everything just a little bit pretty. The Italians do everything quite glamorous. And just in a couple pieces here of evening wear, we've got a very Mondrian-inspired Diane von Furstenberg silk top. This looks amazing with denim. And we have this fabulous sequin top by Nicole Miller. And so this will jazz up, you know, a pair of black jeans, that kind of thing. Just to finish, a couple things of menswear that I see trending, and I had just shown the picture of the leopard, and that is a huge trending print right now, either for females or males. And we have this lovely piece that's just been released by Pretty Green.
Love that.
I love this print, and for a man this might be a little bit much. If it is, why don't you pair it with this lovely Pretty Green denim jacket? This comes from the Dove collection. And you can see here, if you're a male who just thinks that maybe the print is just too much, take that print, oh my gosh, and put a jacket over top. And it kind of, you know,
that's nice. Tames it a bit, doesn't
it? Tames the print, exactly, tames the leopard. And this look is just so casual, so cool. You can see that the jacket is cut quite relaxed looking. And yeah, it's just a really cool way for men to kind of experiment with print and take part in that trend. So
Thank you so much, Cynthia. Thank you, Maegan. And we'll see you again next time. But do stay tuned, because after the break, we have more quirky news, and I'll also be answering a question from a viewer.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Hey, welcome back. And now we're back with Excel with some more news, but we're going to answer a question from a viewer first. Okay. Excel, and this one's from Carrie. And she says, hi Chrissy, I'm a mother of 2 and have been seeing my new partner for a while now, and we're planning on getting married. So we are talking about what each other wants, as we both have had failed relationships. The problem is he wants kids and I don't. I'm not a great mother, but I manage with the 2 I have and I love them to bits. I'm not putting myself down, but I know my limits. But I'm scared that if I don't have kids, I will lose him. I've been by myself so long now, I'm not even sure if I'm bothered, but I like him. What would you do, Chrissy? Now, Carrie, I think this is something quite serious, and it's a shame that it's sort of been left until this very late stage in your relationship to discuss about children. This is something probably that, you know, people should do beforehand, before you're even talking about marriage and things like that. But, you know, it has gone this far. Now, it's serious because you're not talking about a pet. It's something life-changing. And if you don't want any more children, I don't think you should have kids just to keep a relationship, because what's going to happen if you're not up for it, you'll probably end up resenting the children. It will probably bring, and your partner, and probably bring problems between the 2 of you. So I think you really, really need to kind of have a serious chat with your partner. And unfortunately, it may even boil down to the 2 of you not being together anymore. It depends, obviously, on what he wants. Does he want children more than he wants you? Because it's not like you don't have children already. You have 2. So, you know, he will also be involved in their lives. It's not like he's not going to have children at all. Now, I do understand that he may want, you know, his own, that he's created himself. But I wouldn't, if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't have children just because my partner was, you know, adamant that he wanted them. So, but this is such a personal decision. It's really hard to sort of comment on something so serious, but that's what, personally, I don't think it's a good idea just to, you know, be pressured by someone if you're not ready for it. And obviously you might change your mind later. It happens. You might want to have children with him, but I think it's quite a serious one. It has to really be well talked out with your partner first. I don't know what you think, Excel. It's a bit of a tricky one.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, because you can't sort of... This is not a one-size-fits-all situation. This has to be something the 2 of you have to decide for yourself, because I think, like you said, it's about coming to a compromise. Either she then decides okay, I'll have 1 more for us or whatever, or he decides, no, your 2 are my 2. Yeah. So it's down to them deciding what they want to do, really. It's a serious discussion. I
think, you know, she'll be happy within herself if she knows she's done the right thing to herself, because if you really don't want to do something and then you go and do it anyway, you're going to feel bad for that. Yeah. Yeah. So I think the conscience has to be clean. Yeah. But I do hope you guys work it out, really. More news?
Yes. Well, we have you know, as young ladies, we dream about the whole how I want my wedding day to be, etc. I'm sure you did the same, Chrissy.
Yeah, it turned out nothing like what I imagined, but never mind.
Well, indeed. But however, this young lady wanted to have a record-breaking wedding, and indeed she did. She wanted to have the world's longest train for a wedding dress. This young lady from China, Southwest China, her name is Jing Mei. She spoke of her and her partner's world record-breaking idea. It started off as a mad idea, and then we thought we could actually make it happen. They were both delighted with the result, and they were definitely going to contact the Guinness World Records to get them to agree that it is an official world record-breaking dress. If we cue photo 1, please. The train of the dress is 3 miles long, and it weighs 50 kilos. And it will require 40 bridesmaids to carry it. This is what it looks like, beautiful aerial view. We have the heart on top there, and the dress obviously sort of flowing from, I think they sort of spread it over different flowers, different flower plants there. And the other photo, you will see a bridesmaids there tenderly, delicately tending the...
They must have rehearsed that.
Seriously. Her husband-to-be revealed the dress cost the couple £4,000.
Wow.
Really?
Or just the train or the actual...
Well, I suppose because of the train.
That's not unreasonable.
It's approximately a year's wages for the average Chinese worker.
Oh, sorry, I forgot what we're talking about.
Yes. Not in England, love.
Okay.
But he concluded by saying, it's her day, so what she says goes.
Oh.
Wise man. Well, moving on to something slightly not so... I had to pull this up for the sort of not funny side of it, but you will understand why this needed to be brought up. A shop called the SM Department Store in the Philippines has put a T-shirt on the rail that described rape in not so very pleasant terms. Well, in a light-hearted way, and a shopper
What's
saw
light-hearted
it.
about rape?
Well, let's pull up the photo and then we can probably understand it better. It says, the slogan says, it's not rape, it's a snuggle with a struggle.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
Exactly. The logo, actually, as you can see it, is actually obviously a big, it's not just a small, that's across the front of the shirt. And the slogan is just, that's not on. The slogan was picked up.
How could they allow that? I don't understand.
Well, I suppose they're saying that maybe, you know, they don't understand. The shop is trying to sort of say they didn't understand how it happened, blah, 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 blah. As usual, they come up with a politically correct statement. But the shopper who saw it, her name's Karen, she took a picture of it and posted it on the Facebook page and just sort of said, well, really? Like, is this the same mall that has, you know, this sort of high? It was just ridiculous. The photo that she put up on Facebook was shared over 4,000 times. And since then, SM Department Stores has since put this statement out saying, we have been informed via social media that we have a T-shirt in stock with a message that we too find unacceptable. We do not tolerate such action. SM does not support such irresponsible and malicious acts that mock important and sensitive social issues. We have immediately pulled out all the T-shirts of the consignor that distributes them, and we are investigating why it was included in our delivery of assorted T-shirts. Appropriate action will be taken to ensure that this does not happen again.
Terrible.
Thank you for informing us. Really, thank you for informing us. But at least they've put out a public statement.
Yeah.
But I think it was just, I think sometimes I just wonder, because there are people who obviously make these shirts for a living or come up with these slogans to try and sort of sell things. And you just think,
they've obviously never experienced it or never been through it, because they wouldn't. How can anyone be so insensitive?
Exactly. Sometimes I just think, do you really think about what you're saying, or does it just sound funny to you maybe at 3 o'clock in the morning when you have to come up with a slogan for, you know, for a shirt? And I just think it's just done absolutely bad taste.
Gosh,
it's
terrible.
not rape, it's a snuggle with a struggle. Really?
It's horrible.
No, it's not, and it's not good enough. So that has been pulled off the, isn't taken off the shop floor now, and they're obviously looking at why this happened. Do we have time for one more? Have time for one more? Lovely. I think I should end on this lovely note. I'm going to end on a lovely, cute video now, Chrissy.
Okay,
so if we cue a dog and its owner bonding, shall we say?
Yes. Law.
Absolutely delightful. Just lay there, and I have to say,
humans don't get treated like that sometimes.
You know, nice, but I can't believe that is a dog, because I know growing up we had to bathe our dogs. The minute your water touches them, they're running around, and you have to chase them, and you have to plead with them and cajole them, and the dog just lay there having the time of his life, getting scrubbed clean. Lovely.
Well, I'm glad he's a happy dog. Thank you so much, Excel, for all the lovely news, or something not so lovely, but you know, at least the outcome was positive in the end. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, so we'll see you again next time on the show. But if you want more information about any of our guests, you can visit the website chrissybshow.tv, and if you'd like to contact me, you can do so on chris@chrissybshow.tv. But just to end on this, remember, guys, that if you're anything less than happy inside, life's not meant to be that way. Do everything you can to find your happiness, and make sure you spread that on to others too. Bye for now.
One love for me, one